Hello and welcome to the King's Forum podcast show. I have a very special guest, Kim, all the way from Alabama in the US. Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. How you doing?
I'm just blessed.
I just thought I'd get Kim on to talk about, since it is World Bipolar Day, to talk about her experience of bipolar, her journey, just so we can spread some more awareness. So, Kim, could you just kind of break down what is bipolar disorder?
Bipolar is just like it sounds. You've got two polars. You've got depression, and then you've got mania. And you can fall anywhere in between, and you can shift back and forth. And bipolar depression is so much different than depression because there's times you don't even want to get up, you don't even want to breathe. I mean, it's
Mm,
just so depressed. And then there's mania where you don't slow down. You could go days without sleeping, run 100 miles an hour, and it's without drugs or anything else. It's just what your mind is doing.
yeah. So when were you diagnosed with bipolar?
About 8 years ago, now I had fought depression all my life, and nobody went further than the depression. And I was really ashamed to admit it until I did have attempts, and I don't know if you can use the word, so you might need to edit it out, suicide attempts
Yeah.
or self-harm attempts. And the last time was July 7th of '07, and it was pretty bad. And I was in a coma for a while. And then the doctor that I was actually able to talk to treated the depression, never looked further for the mania
Yeah.
until several years later. But yeah, I was going through the bad depressions.
So how does it affect your day to day, bipolar?
Now I am controlled with medication, and I still do, even with the medication. I have a lot of manic phases and don't sleep well. Even with sleeping medications, I don't sleep, and it keeps me going. But then there's sometimes that I just want to sleep all day. I don't want to be bothered. I don't have the motivation, the energy to do anything.
Yeah, so tell me what a manic state is like. How
I have never done drugs, but from
Mm,
what I understand, it's a lot like being on methamphetamines that or speed, that you just cannot sit still. You are
mm,
running 100 miles an hour. You've got several irons in the fire everywhere, and you just don't stop. I mean, you just can't stop. You can't sit still. You can't sit. You're just constantly on the go.
does the medication you're taking have any side effects?
I'm sure it does, but I'm not having any side
Okay,
effects from it
which is a good thing.
because it has taken several years to get me on a regimen that works.
Okay.
And the only side effects they're having to work with me is appetite, because when you're manic, you don't stop to eat, you don't need to eat, and that's the only issue with me is appetite.
How does bipolar affect your relationship with other people?
Used to, before I got treated, it's I didn't have close relationships because nobody really understood what I was going through. And it's hard to live with somebody with untreated bipolar,
Mm,
because you don't know what mood they're going to be in, and it's very difficult. now that I am treated, my husband he is just amazing. He's amazing. He knows that, he sees it.
Yeah,
He knows when I'm in a different mood, and he doesn't condemn me or try to stop me. He just understands.
that's great. You've got that great support network,
Amazing.
because I'm sure that makes a huge difference.
It does.
So, how has this illness affected your career?
Actually, I was in college. I got all that done before
Yeah,
I was diagnosed, and I'm gonna tell you, I went and I got an RN degree. I went and got a psychology degree, a criminal justice degree, and I was going to school at night, raising 2 children by myself and working all day. That's the manic phase,
yeah,
and that pushed me. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, most people in the manic phase like it because you do get so much done, and you are able to accomplish so much, and your mind is moving as fast as your body is, so it works out.
yeah. Like you were saying before I started recording, that the load of the crash from that manic state.
Right. After you've had this go, go, go stage, I remember one weekend that my children were with their grandmother, and I was in nursing school. I was working at the hospital, going to school and doing clinicals. And I got home on a Friday and sat down on my bed. And the next thing I knew, it was Sunday night.
Wow.
So I crashed so hard that I slept all through it. And that was when I thought, okay, something's wrong, but I was too embarrassed to go to the doctor and talk to him about it because I didn't know what was wrong. I didn't want to admit something was wrong. And there's such a stigma attached to saying, look, I might need help.
Yeah, as I said before I started recording, we're talking about just there seems to be a lot of people ashamed in the community about being bipolar, because I was trying to get a lot of more people on and to talk about it and spread awareness today, and I found that very difficult. So could you talk a bit about that?
Forever, there's been a stigma attached to any mental illness,
Mm,
and it's like, okay, instead of saying you're sick, it was you're crazy or you're stupid, or something's really wrong with you, stay back. I don't, but there is no difference in having a mental illness and a physical illness. It just affects a different part of the body, and there's nothing to be ashamed about because it's not your fault. You can't help it. If you have a broken arm, you're going to go get it set and fixed. If you have cancer, you're going to go get treatment if that's your choice. And if any illness, COVID, if you get COVID, you're not going to sit at home and say, okay, I'm embarrassed I have COVID. You're going to get treated. There is no difference between that and a mental illness. Like I said, it's just a different part of the body. And there's no shame in talking. There's no shame in asking for help.
yeah, definitely. So what advice would you give for anyone living with bipolar, maybe struggling?
Talk, 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 talk to anybody. Just get it out. And once you've gotten it out, it's so much easier to get help for it. But don't leave it bottled up inside. Talk to somebody. There's crisis lines you can call. There's people in your life will really listen if you give them a chance to listen. But get it out. That's the biggest advice I can give, is talk.
Yeah, 100%. You know, that's the only way you can get help is by talking. And it always, instead of just keeping it inside and eating away at you, it's always best to tell someone and let them know what you're going through, that you're not suffering in silence.
Right.
So it's World Bipolar Day. What does that mean to you, Kim?
It means that at least somebody's beginning to recognize it. Just celebrate it by talking, get help. I mean, it's just, I am so thrilled that there is being awareness brought to it.
Definitely. No, it's great. And hopefully with this video, we can spread even more awareness.
I hope.
Is there anything more we can do to spread awareness?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure that, you can hold your own events online. Even without guests, you can post videos of facts and stats and all of that, and just keep talking. And the more we talk and the more we spread it, the more it's heard and accepted, I hope.
Definitely. What platforms can people find you on, Kim?
I'm on YouTube at unashamed_Kim. I'm on Facebook at Unashamed. You can also find another YouTube channel I got is at Kim Taylor, Southern Fried and Gluten Free. And I do recipes on there, but that's also an avenue for me to spread awareness about celiac disease and depression and how that works together. Instagram at Unashamed. And I think that's it.
Thank you very much, Kim.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and virtual hugs from the US to the UK. And I appreciate what you're doing. Just keep it up, and thank you so much.
You're welcome, Kim. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.